Hello, I don't know if anyone's here or not. I just got in the live stream and I don't see any comments. So I'll just wait a little bit, drink my coffee, or drink my first cup of coffee. Bring this a little closer. Sorry about the noise. Hey Jerry, how you doing, man? I've got to still setting things up. Jerry, I'll be right back. I forgot my cell phone, so I can't add anybody. Just give me a moment. I'm back. Like I said, I forgot my cell phone. So I had to go get it so I can get signed in so I can put up the invitation. Okay. Did I go to the right spot? I'm trying to get to the right spot and I'll get that up. Hey Mike, how you doing, man? Thanks for coming. After I got out of bed and took my shower and everything, I forgot to grab my cell phone. So just give me a moment here. There it is. It's pinned. And I don't know why that's so. All right, there we go. Oh, so how's everybody doing? It's been an eventful week in that I went and got my ARC. Well, went and got the biometrics to get my ARC card. Yeah, the ashes from the island of Negros. I met up with Man, Minnie, and Danny. Dan, I mean. Hey, Madeline, how you doing? I met up with them at Bowles. I'm trying to remember what day that was. Was that Thursday, I think? Thursday or Friday, I can't remember. But anyway, we met up and one day, and actually, no, this is the first time we met up twice, actually. I think this was Tuesday. And I was sitting outside Bowles having coffee. It was a pleasant day. A little later, I noticed that the table had like a not a sticky film, just like a sand or something on the table. And I'm pretty sure that was ash. And you're welcome, Madeline. Like I said, if anybody wants to come up, Madeline, Mike, Jerry knows he's always welcome up. Jerry, if you can see your thing, Madeline just said hi to you. Yeah, but remember, Mike, that bus ride that you're talking about also includes a ferry ride, doesn't it? And that's by the Rogo into the fast ferry quicker. But yeah, I went and got my biometrics so I can get my ARC card. Hopefully that'll be this week. I'll get my passport back with 2 more months on it. And then my ARC card as well. So we're looking forward to doing that, getting that done. I should be getting my partial on Monday. At least that's the plan. It was on Friday. That was supposed to be the plan. But they called or texted me on, I believe it was Wednesday. Might have been Thursday, but I think it was Wednesday. They texted me and asked me to reschedule till Monday because they were having trouble getting it back. And so I told them, sure, I'll go in on Monday at the time. And Jerry, there it is. All right. How you doing?
Well, okay, enjoying the hot weather.
Yeah.
It rained maybe 15 minutes east of here this earlier today, but we didn't get any rain.
Yeah. Okay.
I know
that's good.
Talk State of Log yesterday. I live streamed yesterday, Friday, but it was pouring. I guess it's that typhoon. You know how the bands wrap around will come back.
Yeah.
You know, and I heard. Well, I don't know if there's any hurricanes in New York, but the bands, the hurricane or typhoon, same thing. It'll come in bands and waves.
No. Yeah. The difference between a hurricane and a typhoon, hurricane is on the East Coast, typhoons are in the Pacific. So that's the only thing I can tell that's different. Whenever it's called a hurricane, you're talking about over on the my side of the United States where I was living, the eastern coast, the Atlantic, in other words, and the Gulf.
Yeah.
Those were called hurricanes. And over in the Pacific, they were called typhoons. Now, anybody that's interested in keeping track in the States that don't know about it, there is a weather app you can get. It's called Westpac Weather, and that's WESTPAC. That stands for Western Pacific, and it talks about from like Guam on this way. And right over to China. The Westpac is I don't know if they borrowed the term or if that's a term that the Navy borrowed, but the Navy, when we went to the Asian countries, we called it a Westpac. I did 2 Westpacs. Now, going down to Australia and New Zealand, that was not a Westpac. That was not considered a Westpac. Now, it might be part of one if you went down there, then left for the European country. The Asian countries. But I never went down that way. I wish I could have gone that way on a ship because I'm what they call a polywog. A polywog means I never crossed the equator by ship and gone through the initiation. You have to cross by ship and you have to go through the initiation. I never did that. So, it is what it is. My older brother crossed the equator going from Virginia. I think he was in Norfolk at the time. And they went from Norfolk, Virginia down to the Panama Canal, through the Panama Canal, and they pulled into San Diego the day I graduated from boot camp. and they let my brother off, and he was there at graduation. And graduation's on a Friday, so he was the first one off the ship because his captain knew that he had a brother graduating from boot camp, and they told him, "Be in your dress blues and hit it when they lower the gangplank." He said he was walking off the ship as the gangplank was still being lowered. He didn't,
Wow.
and so he was at my graduation from boot camp. But that trip made him a shellback. If you cross the equator, go through the initiation, you're a shellback. And like I said, I never did that, so I'm a polywog. So you hear someone say, "I'm a shellback," it means he crossed the equator by ship and went through the initiation. And the initiation can be different stuff. It's all up to the ship and the crew. Now, sometimes they'll take the fattest guy on the ship that is a shellback and grease his belly up and make you rub your face in it. I don't know if it's true or not, but I've heard that they call him King Neptune.
Wow.
But I've heard of guys going through the initiation with the XO. The XO is executive officer, second guy in charge. You have the captain, the XO, and then everybody else. But one guy said they went through with the XO, and they made sure to get behind him because he would get the worst punishment. "Hey, Tim, thanks for coming."
Mhm.
They couldn't do anything to him that they didn't do to the other guys. But if it was physical, because at one time they used to spank you with a fire hose. It'd be empty, but that. And so if they were doing that, they wanted to be behind the XO because they'd wear their arms out hitting him. I don't know if it's true, but that's what he said. But like I said, I never did go through the initiation. So I'm considered a polywog, even though I made 2 Westpac. And so, yeah, I got to check this. I'm getting some kind of message. I made an order today. It's not supposed to come till after 11. But
COD.
From Landers, I
already paid for it.
ordered
You
some
don't
stuff.
do the COD part thing.
No,
You know how COD still
no, I
you can still use
pay
that over
in
there.
advance
Yeah.
because they can this way they can drop it off with the guards, and the guards will call me and let me know it's there, and I'll go down and get it.
The Landers like Sam's or what's the other one? The
Yeah, this is
Sam's and
Landers, which is same thing
Costco.
as S&R. It's like an
Okay.
S&R or Costco. Yeah, S&R is another thing that's like S&R here in the Philippines.
Do they got those hot
That was
dogs over
them,
there as well?
huh?
Do they got those hot dogs? You know how you come here in Costco or Sam's, you can buy that cheap hot dog for $1.50 or so.
Well, they do have hot dogs. I don't know if it's the same as Costco's because I've never been to a Costco. But they do have a place to sit down and eat. You can get pizza. You can get fries. You can get hot dogs. Like I said, I don't know if it's the same kind that Costco has, but I've had their hot dogs. They're not too bad. Always get fries with it when I do go there to eat. That message I was writing, it was the person from Landers wanting to know if I had time to talk, and I told her no. So they're just going to pick what they want to pick. I guess they got some of the stuff I wanted they don't have, and they'll pick something similar to what I want. Like I've ordered some butter, I've ordered peanut butter, ice cream, and a couple other things, and so if they don't have the brand I want of peanut butter, bring me a different brand. We'll give it a try. Same thing with ice cream. If you don't have the exact kind of ice cream I want, give me another ice cream. As long as I prefer the same size. I don't like the
Magnolia.
big size.
You don't know.
Huh?
You get the Magnolia ice cream.
I don't know what I get. I've had that, but I don't know if that's what I ordered this time. I got the 440 milliliter. No,
I like
the
the
delivery. Tim's wanting to know if there's a big delivery fee. Uh, Tim, it's less than $2. Uh, I buy enough that the shopper is free. My personal shopper is free. Now, if I drive over there, or let's say I walk over, okay, and then walk around and shop myself, and then have to drive an Uber and get back, I just paid. I just paid for the delivery fee right there. Now, if I drive over, have a drive, grab over and grab back, I spent more money than what I spent to have it delivered. I spent more money than like I said, you only have to spend so much money, and your personal shopper is free. Well, I've never not had the personal shopper being free. Now, if you spend $100 or right around $100, delivery's free. Well, I don't know. I think I might have done that once, but I was buying a bunch of stuff when I first moved in. I had no groceries whatsoever. I went once, and I decided, well, this time I don't feel like going over. Forget what was going on, and I bought enough stuff that it was free, and so I usually have them delivered. Uh, okay, yeah, it would cost. Yeah, if you live outside the delivery area, I live less. I live about a half mile from Landers. Like I said, I have walked over, but if I'm buying stuff, I'm not walking back. And the walk over, the one street I have to walk on, if it's anywhere near busy, uh, occasionally I have to step out of the road. And I don't like that. Uh, that's the only problem I have. And the sidewalks aren't always level. I don't mean they're broken. They're just sometimes they're at an angle, and so you're walking at an angle. Uh, but it's just yeah. To be honest with you, the delivery fee is I think it's like if you don't have anything, it's like 199 pesos. But I buy enough every time. It's only like 99 pesos. And like I said, less than $2. I mean, Uh, oh, you're 30 minutes out. Yeah, mine's a very short ride. Once they pick me up, it's like maybe 5 minutes. Depending on traffic, it might be 10. Uh, by car, like I said, when I walk, it's a little more, but uh, probably about 15 minutes or so if I walk, 10, 15 minutes, depending on how easy it is to get across the street. Uh, so yeah, it's not a bad walk when the weather's nice. I've done it. I'll do it again sometime when I don't want to go anywhere and I just want to get out of that part. But I'll go pick stuff up myself, and I can do that. I could actually have them do the shopping, and then all I got to do is go pick it up. But like I said, to grab over and grab back is cost me more than having it just delivered. So if I'm going to pick it up myself, I'll do the shopping myself because I'll be going over there for the exercise. Like today, I'm going to go out. I just don't know when I'm going to go out and where I'm going. I haven't made that decision yet. Yeah, I understand, Tim. I mean, like I said, I'm not walking that half mile as fast as I used to. Believe me. It's going to take me a little longer nowadays to be able to walk that far. And like I said, the sidewalks, sometimes you're walking at an angle. Sometimes it's flat, but sometimes you got motorcycles in your way or there's stuff piled up. Well, Tim and Mike and Jerry and all the Filipinos our Filipinos that are watching, they understand. I mean, sometimes you have to step out to the street a little bit,
Yeah.
and the traffic's behind me. I'm not walking towards traffic because I'd have to cross a real busy street to get over there, and I'd have to cross a real busy street to get back onto the side I need to be on. Uh, so I just stop, look a little bit, and try to get by around it as quick as I can. I don't just step out there blindly. That could be a mistake. But so, like I said, it just you have to be careful when you're doing it. I just noticed something. I'm hoping I'm doing it. See if I did it soon enough. I don't know what time they sent this message, but hopefully I got back to them within 10 minutes. The one thing they're talking about, uh, the replacement, is the spreadable fruit. I get a strawberry fruit spread to put on my sandwiches when I want like peanut butter. Well, today I had butter and strawberry jam because I was out of peanut butter. But that's what I had for breakfast. So, but what they'll do is they'll just take another strawberry jam and bring that, which is fine. I mean, I've probably had that brand too. I think the brand I took was a little less expensive, but I like both brands, so it's not a problem. That's why I was looking away, people. I just want to let you know what's going on. Oh, you don't have sidewalks, Jim. The one way I walk, the side street sidewalks are kind of, shall we say, almost non-existent. But as soon as I get to the main road and I turn right, and that walk is only maybe 5 minutes, maybe a little over. I turn right, then I have sidewalks, and most of the time I don't have to get off. But like I said, there are times there's bikes parked on it, at picking up or making a delivery or whatever. So I'll have to either go out into the dirt if that's available to go around the bike, or I have to go out in the street. Depends on the area. I thought about trying to do a riding video where I'm in the Grab and doing a video on the traffic, because as those of you that have either live here or been here in heavy traffic, you know how adventurous, especially the bikes, can be. Also, how they give and take in changing who goes and who doesn't go. But I don't know if I should do that. I'll give that some more thought. But I won't do it without the Grab driver's permission. I won't show him unless he has to be shown. But I would like to show the traffic every time. Like I said, I mean, you just have them come right in front of you while you're moving. Yeah, it can be a little crazy sometimes. And I see them go up on the sidewalk. Like I said, I've seen them. We were stopped, and most of the bikes were just, they were maybe not in lane, but they were lined up. And all it took was one bike to go up on the sidewalk, and a second one went right behind them onto the sidewalk, moving down the road. You know, I thought, man, this would have been a good time to take a video. But yeah, so like I said, I'll get my partial. I'll at least get fitted for the. I've already had the mold done, but at least have the partial check to make sure it fits properly on Monday. So after that, sometime next week, I'll probably put up a video on the cost of it so far. I'm not counting that into my monthly budget because that's not what it was coming out of. I had money set aside separately for this. And now this will be the last I do unless I decide I want implants. They want everything to heal up, so they don't want to do that right away. So we'll see how well this works. If I like it, I'll be done. But if I had to choose right now, I'd say I'm going to do the implants, but that'll be about a year from now, from my understanding. And so once I make that decision and decide to have the implants, I'll let everybody know at that time. So anyway, that's what was going on there. So sometime next week, I'll do a total cost of my dental work so far, and I'll compare it what it would cost. I can't do a complete comparison because I can do some. The extractions I can do that right now with the bone grafts compared to what it would have cost me in the States. I can't do the implant cost evaluation or I'm trying to think of the correct term. I can't do the comparison of what it would cost in the States compared to here because I haven't made those steps yet. I can do like I said, the comparison of the extractions and the bone graft. So we'll do that. I think I have that paperwork with me. I meant to bring it. If I don't, I'll apologize and let you know what it cost anyway, and then you can do your own comparison study of what it would have cost in your area compared to what it cost here. And so, Leah, how you doing? Thank you for coming. We appreciate it. So yeah, it's just yeah. Good morning. Yeah, it is. I looked outside. It's a nice morning. Now, when I woke up at 5, got up, hit the CR, looked outside, and it was still dark. I couldn't believe it was 5 o'clock, as dark as it was. Because usually it's a little lighter at 5. But I went back to bed and got up around about 6:50. Looked out, nice and bright, and so I went jumped to the bathroom, got shaved, brushed my teeth, jumped in the shower, washed my hair, my body, got everything cleaned up. Got dressed and about 20 minutes to 8 and fixed my breakfast. And then I sat down to do this. So that's what's been happening. Well, yeah, but even with it cloudy, there are some clouds, and we may still have some of that volcanic ash from Negros in the air over here, although it has rained, so that helps remove it. But so, yeah, like I said, Friday it rained real good. I met with Dan. I wasn't planning on going over to the mall on Friday because I went on Thursday, and I met with Dan and Minnie on Tuesday. I believe it was Tuesday. It could have been Wednesday, so I wasn't planning on going over on Friday. I just thought I'd stay home, relax, and but went over and met up with them, and it poured while we were talking. We were sitting there uh, talking, and it just started pouring. And like we said, that we needed that to help get some of the ash out of the air and pollution. Uh, I have another idea on a video I'm going to do probably this week, but I'm going to need to go over to the Capital District for a couple of videos. Although one won't be done in Capital District, probably be done right here. One of these talking head ones. It's about medical equipment. All right. I have no. Tim, I didn't even know it erupted. I never noticed it. I don't know what time of day it happened. I never felt anything. If it happened when I was sleeping, it didn't wake me up. You know, uh, but I didn't even know there was ash in the air until, like I said, I was outside at Bowles drinking coffee, and the table felt a little gritty. And then somebody said something about the eruption. And so I thought, well, that's why, because normally they keep their tables as they're clean. I mean, if somebody just left them, might have a little mess. They'll come out and clean it, and the desks don't feel gritty; they feel smooth. And so that's when I found out we had the eruption over Negro. Somebody told me there was a volcanic ash in the air from Negros, but no, I never felt it. So I didn't know anything about it until I was out and about.
Yeah, Lady E is the one that posted a video of that. That's how I found out about it.
Yeah. Hey, Danny. Danny from Road to the Philippines is in. Finally caught. Yeah, you finally caught me live. Uh, Met up with Danny and Irene uh, a little over a week ago. Almost 2 weeks now, or has it been almost three? I lose track of time. Being retired, I don't really keep track of time that much. I probably should keep better track. But anyway, Danny and Irene was over here. Danny was getting his applying for his SRRV. He's going to get the military SRRV, and so he was over here meeting with JRC's group. And all right, Tim, you take care, man.
Yeah.
Probably meeting up with your girlfriend, so you have a good one. Enjoy yourself, man. So I was able to meet with Danny and Irene. Had lunch and dinner. Well, I had lunch with Danny and Irene. The dinner, Irene wasn't feeling that well, so it was just me and Danny for dinner. So, but it was a nice visit. Uh, I enjoyed it. Like I said, I was talking with the one guy. I guess he comes over every so often, stays for a couple of months, and goes back home. Guy's name was Mark. We talked for a few minutes. I've not really tried. I haven't joined any meetups. Was it 2.5 weeks ago? Whew. Time flies, Danny, when you don't keep track of it. Like I said, I'm retired. I'm not counting the days or the weeks. I'm just like I stayed home all day yesterday. I even ordered out for my supper. Yeah, it was great seeing you too. Finally, in face to face, person to person, it was really nice. I enjoyed both times I was able to visit with Dan and Man Minnie both. It was great. Uh, I hope to meet more people that I know through YouTube. Of eventually, like I said, I do have plans to go to uh, Dumaguete, Valencia area, and so we're going to do that sometime. I haven't decided when. Uh, I have a AC. How you doing? Thank you for coming. Uh, But like I said, I want to go to the Dumaguete and visit Valencia and Dumaguete in that area. Uh, oh yeah, and that's the smaller one. That's not the largest mall. IT Park has a much bigger mall. There's some other malls I've been to that I wasn't there to video do you know a video on. So I will go back to them. There's a couple I want to go back to, and I will do videos on them. One of them's a Robinson Mall over there. Uh, I was at. It was really nice looking. Uh, there's a couple others that I've seen on other vloggers that I want to go see. So I'll probably do some vlogs on those as well. Like I said, I want to go to the Capital District. There's a medical supply area over there that may carry some things I want. Actually, I do need them, but I can get them through Amazon. So I know I can get them. I just want to see if I can get them in the States. And then I'll do a price comparison. So, now that Amazon doesn't carry all the stuff that I would want for my CPAP, my continuous positive air pressure machine. But they do carry two of the most important things as far as I'm concerned. I think they carry at least three of them too. I believe there's a third one they carry that I really would like to be able to replace once in a while. So I want to check with this medical place and see if they got it. If not, I'll have to see if there's any other ways I can get it. I'm sure there are. But Amazon would be, if I can't get it there, Amazon would be the most convenient way to get it. What I'm talking about is the filters for the machine. There's one for the machine and that I got through the VA all the time. And there's another one that's for the hose area that's more for me than the machine. It doesn't really help the machine at all, but it gets out a lot of particles, and I mean a lot of pollution. And I did not realize how much it did until I started using one. I just thought, well, it sounded like it might work. I'm still living in the Waterville area, which is right outside Albany, the Capital District, when I decided to start trying that. And that area had a lot less pollution than, because I lived in a smaller city or a big town. I wouldn't call it a city, but they did. So it was a lot less pollution. And then when I got here, it takes about 2 weeks, and the thing is black. It's got taken so much pollution out of the through the hose and stopped so much of it that it really is amazing how much it stops. So it just, yeah. The first time before I changed it, I wasn't paying attention because I was thinking, well, it lasts a long time, a month or longer, and where I was living before. And I went about a month, and it was almost totally black. And so it's like, well, I switched it. This time I went about 16 days or so, and I had to switch it again last night. It's just like, it's getting too dark, time to change it. So I'll be going through them, as long as I stay in a bigger city, I'll be going through them a lot quicker than I did back home. But that's okay. That's a small price to pay. And like I said, it helps improve with my allergies. It helps improve it'll help keep my lungs healthier too, because it's keeping that pollution out of it that's being forced down my throat. So we'll see. But we will continue using that. It's not that expensive, I don't think, for what it does for me. I can buy 3 months supply or more at a time through Amazon. If I get it through Amazon, I'll probably buy 6 months. Uh, but if I can get it here, I might just buy a couple months at a time. I'm not going to buy month to month. I'm not going to have to run over there every month. And so we're just looking at doing that and trying to enjoy what we do. And so yeah, there's well, Dr. Philippi Pine. The dentist, I couldn't tell you his name. I'm sorry. The dental group I go to is Green Apple Dental. It's in Cebu Business Park. It's in the mall. I've seen videos done by some expats that used them. They seem to like the place. Now maybe it might have been a different Green Apple because there's more than one. That's a franchise-like place. A couple dentists started it. They got one over. And hey, Crystal, thanks for coming.
I'll sign off, Larry.
Yeah, you're going?
Yeah, I'm gonna sign off. It's 7:40. Just half of the chickens are already inside.
Yeah. Well, you got a couple chickens still.
Yeah, there's 4 of them, like 5 of them that are outside. But I need to finish packing the corn and the chicken feed, the feed for the birds tomorrow.
Well, and Crystal's saying hi, Jerry.
Hey, Crystal. See, those are probably saying hi to Hop.
Yeah.
Hop, the one-legged chicken.
All right, Jerry. Thanks.
All right, we'll see you.
Thanks
Have a good day.
up, man.
My pleasure.
You too.
You take care.
All right, bye.
Thanks. Bye.
All right, you too. Have fun.
Thank you.
Yep. So, yeah, like I said, I got to hopefully I will get my internet, my own dedicated internet this coming week. I can't do it until I get my passport back and my ARC card. You got to have your passport and ARC card could probably do it. I'm not sure if I'm going out today or not, Crystal. I think I may, but if I do, I'm not sure where I'm going. I don't go. I got a delivery coming sometime later today, so I can't go till after that. I put in to have it delivered after 11 because I didn't want to take a chance on interfering with his live stream. That's showing too much of me. So I just want to go. I don't know if I want to go to the business park again. Going to the same place. I like it. Don't get me wrong. I really like. And if the weather's going to be bad, it's a great place to go. Because if it's cool, you can sit out on the terrace, which you've seen my video of the terrace. I can sit out there and enjoy the weather. And I can have my coffee. I can walk around inside the mall and get my exercise in. So I do really like Cebu Business Park Mall. Ayala Central Block, I think is what it's called. I really do like that mall. But I do need to check out their response. And yeah, I don't know if you've ever been to Cebu. Danny and from Road to the Philippines, him and his wife, girlfriend Irene, they visited me. He said it was about 2.5 weeks ago. They really liked that spot as well. They really liked the terraces. They liked the mall. It's a really nice mall. Dan and Man Minnie, they stay in that area when they come to Cebu. They stay in that area there, so it's easy to meet up with them. I met up with them a couple times already. So, it just, just something to do, and so it's a nice place to go and get out of the apartment. Uh, and I do like to get out of the apartment some. I mean, but I'm not somebody that has to go out every day. But I did go out. I did stay in yesterday, so there's a chance I will go out today. Okay, it is. I understand, Crystal. It's until I got here. That's all I ever seen. Well, not in magazines or TV. All I ever seen was videos of the place. So, but I knew I wanted to visit it because of the terraces. I like the idea of the terraces. Being able to sit outside underneath the awning, drink your coffee, watch the people. Uh, there's down if you're actually on the terraces, the playground's down on ground. It's down on the ground. There's nothing below that. Uh, and that's where they got a little playground for the kids to play and places for the parents or older siblings to sit around and do stuff and watch and take care of the kids. And that's free. And then they got restaurants all the way around that area as well. Ways to enter the mall on either side. So you got that. I I had my most expensive steak I've ever had in my life. I went to a Texas Roadhouse, uh, and yeah. Now I haven't been to a Texas Roadhouse in years in the States, so I'm not saying it's higher than the Texas Roadhouse in the States because I don't know. When I say years, I mean 5, 6 years, maybe longer. Uh, it's been a long time, and but it didn't cost that much in the States the last time I went. And but good steaks are imported here; they're not grown here, so they're going to cost more. And I knew it would cost me more. I knew it would cost at least as much, if not more. All right, now where's the IB grilled steak, uh, Doctor Phil? I'm just going to call you Doctor Phil. I okay, just Doctor Phil, and we're going to give him a monitor. Now, Doctor Phil, the the blue jacket just means you can actually post your own stuff if you want on there. I noticed that it looked like you're just someone who likes to follow people, which is fine. But if you ever decide you want to start putting information up on your channel, my Nightbot, get the banner going. You just type in 3 L's and okay, yeah, you can buy the steaks. I don't. I'd have to cook mine on the top of a electric stovetop. I live in an apartment. If I had a place to do some outdoor grilling, in other words, if I was renting a house somewhere, I would want to get a grill so I could grill hamburgers up like we do back in the States, and hot dogs and stuff like that once in a while. Pork chops. I was never much of a guy grilling chicken, but pork chops and steaks and hamburgers, uh, like I said, hot dogs, uh, Italian sausage. If you can get a bit of hot Italian sausage, that I did like to grill, and but I don't really have the place for it. I don't know if I haven't even asked if I can do it on my patio. I know I couldn't. I wouldn't do it in my apartment itself. Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I said, if you got the right place, if you got a place where you can set it up. Now, my older brother was even more of a grill freak than you, Dr. Phil, or myself. He would now remember I'm from originally from Indiana. We get snow. He would grill outside even during the winter. He grilled out at least, I'd say, 4 or 5 times a week. Uh, the only time I think he didn't grill outside, heavy snowfalls are, and I'm talking about heavy snow at the time, are rain. I don't think he might have done it in the rain, but I don't think he did. But yeah, he would grill out every chance. It was his favorite way of cooking was grilling for his meat anyway. And like I said, I like to grill, but nothing like my older brother. Uh, Now my older brother's gone, but that's that was him. He was out there grilling all the time, and he grilled charcoal. I know some people use gas, but he always grilled on charcoal. Of course, he's been gone since he died in '86, if I remember right. Uh, no. Take that back. '88, if I remember right. Because I'm trying to remember if, a friend of mine went, and I didn't know them in '86, so it had to have been '88. Hello, ABCM. How you doing? Thanks for coming. We're just hanging out a little bit, and Jerry was up earlier. He's gone. So anybody else wants to come up is more than welcome. But the only thing you need to do is be polite and be courteous. You don't have to like each other, but you do need to show respect towards each other. That's the only thing, trying to have fun and enjoy ourselves. I've only had one cup of coffee today, so I'll get a few more of those. But yeah, I already got a few videos that'll be coming in next week. I haven't made them yet, so I can't tell you what day. I'm getting the partial. Hopefully, I actually get it on Monday. I know it's getting fitting to make sure it fits. But if I actually get it, I'll let people know that I have it and what the end cost was. Hey Tio, how you doing? Thank you for coming. Like I said, that'll be the last of that for maybe a year. If I decide to go with the hey Kitty, how you doing? Kitty and some. Let me give Kitty a monitor. Kitty happens to be I thought Oh no, no! I hit the wrong name. I'm going to say I thought. There you go, Kenny. You're a monitor. Kenny, if you want, just type in 3Ls. My Nightbot will drop your link. I try to make it as easy as possible on people. Sammy Chavez, she helped me set it up a long time ago. I don't think I ever got it set up properly without her help. So I have to give her props. But yeah, like I said, if I actually get the partial and get to keep it, I'll do a video sometime, sometime after Monday evening. I might even put it up Monday. I might do it after I get home. But sometime next week, I'll do a video on that, and I'll try to bring it down by cost. I think I have the paperwork with me on what it would cost me in the Capital District of New York, Albany District. I would have been in Albany County, but not in Albany, the city of Albany. So we'll see if I can get that paperwork. I'll have to double check. I think I brought it, and I'll do a comparison of what I had done cost here compared to what it would have cost me there. And yeah, so am I, Sticky. I got here on May 19th. I left the States on May 18th. It was a 28-hour trip. I left at 6 in the morning on the 18th. In the States, it would have been 6 in the evening on the 18th here. I got here at 10 in the morning on the 19th in the States, and 10 at night here in the Philippines. And so, well, I finally retired. I retired in April, and I don't know how long it's been that you followed me, but my mother passed away last year in March at 99 years old. I'd already signed a year's lease for where I was at. Plus, I was still trying to save the money to make sure I had the money to come. And then two of my sisters, my two oldest sisters, I had four sisters. My two oldest ones passed away 2 days apart in August last year. And I was already leaning towards retiring and coming this year at that time. I was already leaning towards doing that. And that helped push me towards it a little more. And then the start of winter, the cold just bothered me more than normal. And that was the final decision. It's like, all right, I'm done. Because I was debating on whether or not to renew my guard license, my security guard license. And if I was going to, I had to take a class last year and then one this year. I was good till the end. Listen to me. My guard card was good till November this year. So I couldn't work right up to November this year without renewing my guard card. But I would have to sign another lease. And I asked the place where I was living if I could sign like a 3 or 6 month lease. And they said no. It's a year lease or a month to month. And so I did a month to month until I decided to retire and move. We got the little, I don't know how to say this. It wasn't falling ash, but you didn't feel it. But yeah, I was talking about this earlier, Kenny. I like to go to bowls at Ayala Central Block, which is a business park. They have what they call the terrace. You can sit outside, enjoy the weather. I was out there. I want to say it was Tuesday, uh, and I was there, and I had a cup of coffee, and it might have been a different day, but I think it was Tuesday. And we it seemed all right. I went inside, came back, and sat down outside the same table, and it felt a little gritty. And the tables are always smooth out there, and it was clean, so it wasn't sticky. So I'm thinking it was just some of the ash settling, the real fine particles of it. And so I think that's what happened there. And then it started raining, and the rain really helped get some of it out. There's still some there, but it's the more it rains, the more it'll take that out of the air. Uh, so yeah, we did. I did not feel the. I'll tell you in a minute. I did not feel the volcano eruption. Uh, I didn't even know it happened until somebody happened to mention that the and it erupted, and that's why it was so. It wasn't just cloudy; it was volcanic ash going over that made it so look so overcast. And so, yeah, it is. I happen to like the place. I don't know if I'm going to stay in Cebu or not. I've been here, like I said, I've been in the Philippines. I landed in Mactan, Cebu airport. I spent a couple of days in Lapu-Lapu at one hotel because they picked you up from the airport, and I gave me 2 days of rest. I didn't want to do any running at all for the first day or so. Then I moved over to 18 Suites in La Hogue and was there for about 2 weeks. Found this apartment and moved here on June 1st. So I've been in this apartment now for a little over a month and a half. I really like the place. It's a one bedroom, which is a lot less money than some of the apartments in the bubble area. I just looking at one. Now this is probably one of the most expensive places in the bubble area, at least in the. Yeah, the volcanic ash can make the air quality really bad. Uh, I know if you're probably from LA, this is probably nothing new outside of volcanic ash, but I mean their pollution in Los Angeles. I never lived there, but I lived in San Diego in the Navy. But they used to get weather smog alerts, and if smog got so bad, they'd be told to stay inside. You know, it's too hazardous to be out there breathing the air. And so until a stiff wind would come in and blow it out, or they get a heavy rain to get rid of it, they can get real bad there. And so that's why I said I noticed that the air quality here where I'm at compared to where I was living in the States, it's a lot worse here, even without the volcanic ash. Because I noticed that before the volcanic ash. But I still like the place. But that if I move, it won't be because of that. What I'm thinking about is, do I want to be in a city this large? I'm a small town boy. My hometown was only 80,000 people. I've lived in towns as small as 3,000 people. I agree. I loved San Diego when I was there. When I was there in the Navy, loved it. Absolutely loved it. But you got to remember, how much younger were we? And I didn't live out in town. Well, I did a couple times. And I had a car, so I could get around. Once I hit 21, I had a car, got around on my own. But You know, I was 18 to what, 23, somewhere around there in San Diego. I was a bar hopping, bar drinking, skirt chasing son of a gun. So yeah, that was a great place for a young man. Like I said, I'm no longer young, and I'm not skirt chasing. I'm 72 years old. I'll be 73 this year. A lot of people tell me I don't look it. They tell me that in the States as well. And even when I had my chin whiskers, a lot of people told me I didn't look my age. So uh, there you go. But like I said, I spent a lot of my wild youth, not all of it, but a lot of my wild youth there in San Diego. So yeah, I love the place. Uh, you had the buses. You could, if you didn't have a car, the buses right to the base. At least I think you can catch a bus at least once an hour, maybe 2 hours after 2 o'clock in the morning till four. Might take me a couple hours, but during the day, every hour, every half hours, you always been able to catch a bus to the base or to town or Chula Vista, uh, you know, North Island. It was, and then if you had your own car, it was even easier to get around. Which I had got my own car after I turned 21. Bought had a '68 Chevelle Super Sport convertible. Great car to have in California. Uh, Top was down a lot, but also California is when I learned if you're not going to be in the car and you're going to be out of the car for a little while, put the top up. And I didn't learn it because of birds. I learned it because I had black leather seats, and a girlfriend and we were out at the beach. I left the top down. I got in the car wearing a pair of shorts. Oh my God, I felt like I was going to burn my backside off. I had to put a towel down to sit on the seats. Oh, it was super hot. And so after that, whenever I got out of the car, I didn't always lock the top down, but I had an electric motor to put the top up and take the top down. I didn't have to do it physically. So before I get out of the car, I'd hit that button and bring it up to where it was down. I just didn't lock it in place. And I did that every time I got out of the car if I was going to be out of the car more than a couple of minutes. It's like, I'm not going to get burnt like that again. That was, oh my goodness, that was painful. And I mean, it wasn't no burn that I had to go to the doctor for. Uh, but it was, it was like, dang, that hurt. I wouldn't, if I'd have stayed in there, it might have burned bad enough. Like I said, it was enough to convince me not to do that again. And I've had a couple convertibles, and I've done it with all my convertibles. I don't care if like I said, even with cloth seats. I had a Ford Mustang, had cloth seats. But like I said, I would put it up because I got to thinking, what happens if a bird flies over and does his business, and it gets on your seat. So like I said, I just started putting the top up every time I got out of the car uh, on the convertibles. And if I've had the uh, sunroof, moonroof, whatever they call it, the one that goes back inside the car, I'd always close that when I got out. Same thing. What happens if a bird goes by, Uh, and who knows, if you had it open, they might just land on your car and just. So I just did that to not have to worry about my clothing. And so yeah, but yeah, I'm with you though. Back in my Navy days, I loved San Diego because it was warm. Uh, San Diego is a place I could live today as far as the weather goes, but I could not afford to live there. I mean, San Diego has a large international population, And when I say international, I'm not necessarily they're from different nations, but we're different ethic, racial backgrounds. Uh, there's people that are black, white, Filipino, Chinese, Japanese, Mexican, from all over. Their heritage is from all over. There's a large Filipino population in San Diego because of the Navy. Uh, like I said, when I was in, Kenny, probably when you were in as well, I served with a lot of Filipinos. Uh, I happen to be a ship serviceman. They call them retail specialist now. But about a third of my division was Filipino, and about a third was white. We might have been a little bit more than a third. And the other third was black and Hispanic. We did have a couple of Chinese at one time. One. I want to say a couple, but actually one was a storekeeper. They were twins. Oh yeah, it would be way too expensive to live there. I got a buddy. Now his wife was from, or is from. I should say is. As far as I know, they're both still living. Is from San Diego. Now he was from Washington State. When they first got married, after he got out, they went up to Washington State for a couple of years, and I was getting ready to get stationed up there. I thought, oh great, I'll be able to hook up with him, see, And then just a couple of months before I left, they moved back to San Diego. They got a 2-bedroom apartment because she had a daughter. They, living with him. Been with him since she was like 2 years old, 1 or 2 years old. She was about 2 years old when him and Bert, or Berta, name was Rebecca, everybody called her Bert, or Berta. And most of them just called her Bert. But like I said, her daughter was about 2 when Chris and her moved in together. So they got a 2-bedroom apartment. And years later, after her daughter was grown, got married, was living in Ohio, and had kids of her own, Chris and Bert couldn't move because, as you probably know, they have rent control in California. And if they move from their 2-bedroom apartment to a 1-bedroom apartment, that 1-bedroom apartment would cost a whole lot more than that 2-bedroom apartment. Because they'd lived there for so long, the rent was real cheap compared to, changing apartments. So they just stayed in the 2-bedroom. They pretty much had to. As far as Costco, they couldn't afford to move. It's a good thing in some ways. Like, let's say, for me, it would have been a good way because I would have been in a 1-bedroom apartment anyway. I'm single. I'd never been married, didn't have kids. Now, who knows? If I stayed there, I might have been married or with a woman who had kids. So I can't say that. But, yeah. But like I said, I'm going to tell you, when I was in San Diego, it was cheaper. Me and 2 buddies, we rented a 3-bedroom apartment, huge living room. I had a small bedroom. It was small, but the other 2 bedrooms were good size. A nice tub. Didn't have the shower, just a nice big old, what they call those open there, like claw tubs. Didn't even cost half of what I'm paying for this 1-bedroom here. That's how many years ago it was. For the price that I was paying for that that 3-bedroom in San Diego at that time, if I'd been in Cebu Bay, Pole area, I could have had a 3-bedroom home and live in Maine and somebody taking care of my yard and still been cheaper than that apartment. You know, like I said, I could have a 2 or 3 bedroom apartment, have a living maid, taking care of everything, pay some guy to take care of the yard, and spend less money than that 3 bedroom. So everything was a lot cheaper back then. But yeah, it was. Like I said, those were the good old days, Kenny, when we were young and dumb. And I won't finish the rest of it. Most military people will know what I was going to say. Young and dumb and full. So yeah, but like I said, the air quality here is not as good as what it was where I was living. But I've been in just as bad uh, areas. Like I said, you go to Rochester, Buffalo, New York, the air quality is pretty bad there too. You go to New York City, which I'd go down there once in a while. Weather, air conditioning down, air quality down there is just as bad because you got all those tall buildings holding everything in. So, like I said, once it rains, it helps clear things up. So, but my thing is, uh, I want a good hospital around me. I have that here in Cebu. So I want to check out Dumaguete. They got the Silliman University, which has a teaching hospital. That's supposed to be pretty good. They got an ACE hospital that's not supposed to be too bad. I want to check out ELO. ELO, their hospital is good enough that the TRICARE for the guys that are retired military uh, will reimburse them for using that hospital. So it's got to be pretty good. And Davao City has got a good hospital. So there's three places I want to check out uh, to see if I would like to live in those areas. I'm going to stay. When I say stay, I mean I'm going to keep an apartment here for over a year because I'll be getting the dental work done, and I'm going to use Cebu as my home base, so I can travel outside of this area. I'll take maybe a week and go over and see Dumaguete, and then maybe come back for a month or two, then take a week to go see. I might just go to Bye Bye, which is where my friends Dan and Van Minnie, they live there, so I might go over there and visit them. Check that area out a little bit. That might be my second visit. And then maybe I'll go to Davao City next and see Danny and Irene and Jamie's there, Jamie and Jamie and Pierre, her daughter, and Dan and Irene and her son. Then Ilo. I don't know if I can't think of anybody I know in Ilo. I do know a blogger that lives outside of Ilo, but I don't follow him enough to worry about meeting up. So yeah, I want to do that, and then those are the places I'm interested in. Who knows? If I don't like any of them, maybe I'll check out Olongapo, see what it's like. I want to visit Olongapo again, just to see how much has changed. Because, Ken, as you know, you've been in Subic Bay and from the Navy days, what it was like back then. I was there. I don't know when you were there, Kenny. I was there in the 70s, early 70s to mid 70s, and mostly mid 70s, actually in Subic. So you know how wild it was back then. I'm glad it's here that it's settled down, but I'd like to go see it. To see, plus their infrastructure as far as roads and stoplights and stop signs and people following the rules of the driving, which here the lanes are more a suggestion because I see the motorcycle driving in the lane going the opposite direction. They'll get over there and drive in that lane to get ahead of everybody else. I've seen them do it. See them drive on the sidewalks. As you know, that's not what we would call kosher driving in the States. And I think Cebu Bay area, they would follow our kind of driving rules more because of the history. Hey, Corn, how you doing? So, glad to see you made it. But so yeah, it's just different places. Like I said, who knows? If, like I said, if I can't find someplace else I like, I might check out a few others. I'm not going to just say, well, I do like Cebu. Don't get me wrong. Now, what do you mean by counterflowing? The only way to go, like I said, I really do want to find a place to settle down and use it as a home base and travel out. Right now, that's Cebu City. And it may stay Cebu City. But I do know there's other places that are less expensive than Cebu City. I've seen a lot of videos on these places. Oh, I'm sorry, Acorn. I will never ride on a motorcycle in a city this size because if they did that, I think I'd slap the guy upside the head. I don't mind the in and out as much. Driving through the middle of the vehicles, but I don't think I should be out there in the lane in the opposite, just traveling the opposite direction. That's not for me. I used to ride a motorcycle, so I'm not afraid of a motorcycle. I'm just afraid of some of the riders here. I've ridden on the back of bikes in the States. I've had passengers behind me, and none of us ever drove that way. Now I like the idea that we couldn't do it in the States, where if you're parked, if you got the room, you can drive down the middle in between the cars to get farther up. I kind of like that. I think California lets that happen now. But back when I was riding, you couldn't do that anywhere in the States. I kind of like that rule where you can do that. But the driving and the crossing over to the other side traffic, no. I don't care if everybody's coming or not. No, I'm not doing that. I won't ride with anybody that does that. No. They if we're riding on separate bikes, they want to do it. Go ahead, go at it. I'm not following you. It's just not going to happen. I don't believe in it. So there you go. I mean, I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm just saying I'm not doing it. I'm not taking that chance. I mean, people, they'll do that going around curves sometimes. I've seen it on video. It's like, that's crazy. You don't know what's coming. And some of these buses, they come flying down the road and, buddy, if you're on a motorcycle, the only thing you're winning against, and you're still getting hurt on a motorcycle, and I'm talking about other vehicles, it's a bicycle. That's the only thing you're going to win. Any other vehicle, it's either going to be of equal size or larger than you, unless you're on a large bike and you're hitting a smaller bike, but you're still not winning. You're both going to be hurt. You're going to be hurt on that. You're going to hit that bicycle and you may not get hurt. You may hit an individual and you may not get hurt. You might hit an animal and not get hurt. But there's some animals you're going to get hurt. So I said, you got to respect what can happen to you on a bike. And like I said, I rode a bike for years. I know. I got in a contest with a road and lost. Still rode the same damn bike after I got it fixed for another 4 or 5 years. Yeah, I was going around a curve. It was going a little too fast. So I applied my brakes. This is when I first learned to ride. And it always said, you should use your front and back brakes. So I applied a little pressure on both my brakes just to slow down. Wasn't trying to stop, just slow down. I hit loose gravel. The bike slid because the brakes were both applied, slid right out from under me. And I ended up on the opposite side of the road. I had my chest cut from about here, right about here, to about here, was cut open. Had gravel up inside of it. The bike was tore up. The bike was, I had gear on there that got tore up, but the gear on there saved the bike from getting tore up. I had the front had this like grill like thing in the front. It was right behind the front wheel, but it was made of metal. It was about that much beyond the wheel on the bike on either side. And you could there was a place you could put your feet on there, but it was just a crash bar is what it was for the bike. And then I had a saddlebags and all that on the back, and I had a grill, not a grill, what do they call it? Had your windshield, a fairing. I had a fairing in the front of the bike. So the fairing and the saddlebags got tore up, and so did the crash bar. Took them off, and the rest of it was good. But those things were tore up, and I had to get rid of them. But I had to go to the hospital, get the gravel taken out of my chest. I had to have a tube put in my chest. The chest sewed up. And I couldn't ride the hell. I had stitches in for 2 weeks. The tube was in there for 2 weeks. I had to take some really strong what do they call that? It's like penicillin, but it's not penicillin. It's a infection drug to keep you from breaking infections. But I had to take that for about a month. Yeah, Acorn. That's what I'm saying. It's with a bike. You gotta be careful. But here they're not. They're very aggressive. But you gotta drive defensively on a bike because you're losing almost every argument on the road. The road can defeat you. That's what I'm saying. I mean, like I said, I couldn't ride my bike for a couple of weeks because, well, I just couldn't handle it until I was held up. And so I finally started getting better, and I went back to riding. But I rode the same bike for another 4 or 5 years. And the crazy thing is, the next year, my motorcycle insurance went down because I thought it was going to go up. I mean, it wasn't. At that time, it was fairly expensive. I had $50 deductible. I paid $50. They paid everything else. All right, and it cost my insurance about $600. The ambulance ride, the emergency room, the stitches, the antibiotics. That's the word I was trying to think of earlier. The antibiotics, the bike itself. I took care of that. That was my $50. But it was about $600 that they had to pay. And so I thought, well, my insurance is going to go up next year. It went down. Was it 10 or 20 bucks a year? So I asked what happened. The long story short, I had my younger brother, who's 5 years younger than me, or was, he passed away. Was 5 years younger than me. I had him on my insurance as a rider. So he was insured just like I was. No matter where he was at in the country, he was insured. Because I wanted him to be able to take the bike. All he had to do was ask me if I wasn't using it. Hey, go ahead. If he wanted to run to Chicago, he could. If he wanted to run to Indianapolis, wherever, if he wanted to go somewhere, he could take the bike and go. He had, whenever he asked, he had it for the whole day. I didn't care, and I told him that. And if he wanted it for a couple of days, if he'd asked, I probably would have let him have it for a couple of days. So I had him listed like he was a co-owner. He wasn't, but he was listed like, you know. Well, he hit the next age bracket, which offset what the wreck cost. Actually, because I was paying a much higher premium because of his age. And once he hit the next age bracket, his age bracket dropped off enough that it offset the cost of the wreck. So my insurance went down. It went down at least $10 a year. Might have been. I was only paying. I paid by the year. I had 9 months riding, 3 months storage. Hey Daniel, how y'all doing? Thank you for Jim Harm. I don't recall seeing you guys here before, and so let me go here and see a few things. I see you don't have any content, but didn't tell me when you started, Jamar. Let me check something else out here. Okay. Now, Jamar, because I don't know you and you have no content, I'm not going to make you a monitor. I'm sorry. You have nothing to lose. But Daniel has a channel with, I don't know what I'm doing here. So there you go, Daniel. If you want to advertise your channel, all you got to do is type in 3 L's, whether they're capital L's or small L's, doesn't matter. Just type in 3 L's, and my Nightbot will drop your channel link. Jamar, you don't have any information. It doesn't even tell me how long you've been on YouTube. Now, you said you're in the Philippines. What part of the Philippines are you in, Jim Harm? I'm going to say Jim Harm. If I'm saying it wrong, I'm sorry. But JEM could be Jim or Jan. I'm going to say Jim. And then HARM is Harm. So Jim Harm. Just letting you know why I'm pronouncing it that way, in case I'm pronouncing it wrong. But what part of the Philippines are you in, Jim Harm? Not a problem, Daniel. It's like I said. I base my channel is trying to connect people. I do this for fun. I'm not trying to get monetized. This is something to do. I started doing back in the States to see if I would enjoy it, because I knew once I retired, I happen to be a person who can stay at home for long periods of time. I'm not one of these people that has to be up. And now, when I was younger, I did. But the older I got, I don't have to go out every day. I don't even have to go out every other day. I can stay home for 2 or 3 days in a row and not bother me, outside of not getting the exercise I need. But I can really do it. I mean, I didn't go out yesterday. I'm still not sure if I'm going out today. I don't know. I'm leaning towards going out, but I don't know. I know I'm going out tomorrow, so I have to go to the dentist. So I will go out tomorrow. I'll have my supper after the dental visit, because I think it's at 5:30 if I remember right. That's fine. Like I said, you've been. I went and checked your channel out, and it mentioned that you've been doing it, and you've been on the YouTube for a while. Like I said, Jamar didn't tell me how long they've been on. They don't do videos, so there's no sense giving him a monitor because he's not going to need it. Now, if you don't want to do videos, that's fine. But like I said, you've been on long enough that I would give you a monitor. So yeah. But yeah, like I said, I'm still trying to figure out where I want to live in the Philippines myself. I just haven't figured out. Like I said, I've only been here 2 months. Well, not even full 2 months yet. Not till the 19th. It'll be 2 months. But so yeah, it just we're getting there. Like I said, I already did the biometrics for my ARC card. And for those that don't know I think everybody here probably knows, but ARC is Alien Registration Card or Certificate, I think. Alien Registration Certificate. I believe that's what the C stands for. But you get a card showing that you've been registered with the Filipino government as a foreign alien, that you're legal in that aspect of it. That doesn't mean. But yeah, like I said, yeah, I follow other people's live blogs. I've been to Crystal. I don't go that much. I probably should go more, but now that I'm here, when I was at work, when I was still working, I had a job where I sat at a desk, and if people weren't coming in, I wasn't doing anything. And so I followed live streams a lot more then because I'm sitting there and if I had to do something, I could turn away from the live stream and not worry about it and come back to it. I also watched a lot more videos back then too. Now, I first started doing YouTube. Once again, I was working at a job where I sat at a desk, and if nobody was coming in, I wasn't doing anything but sitting there twiddling my thumbs. And I'd never done YouTube. This is back, around 2016, 2017, somewhere back there, about 9-10 years ago. And I was working this one job. I was how should I put this? I was a security guard, clerk, receptionist. I was a security guard. I was a security guard before I started working this post. I was a security guard at that building for this company. I was contract security. I didn't actually work for them. I was contracted to them. And I worked as a regular guard. And then the guard that was working at the post, at the reception clerk post, left. And so when they left, the position opened up. And they let me do it for a little bit. Then they gave it to me until they closed the post to security. They put a person down there temporary. They were doing a different job and put them down there so it could save them money. But I did that job for about a year, 6 months to a year. I can't remember. But that's when I started watching YouTube because I would literally sit there for a couple hours and not do anything. I'd get bored out of my, I would say bored out of my gourd. That's my gourd. You just get boring sitting there doing nothing. And people always talk about YouTube, and I thought, well, I might as well check it out. So I started watching different videos and news and stuff like that. And then I found a channel, I can't remember which was found first, but the first two vloggers I started following was a guy in Thailand called Thailand Rob. It was 20 Seconds in Thailand was his channel with Thailand Rob. He was uh, an American that moved to Thailand, and he's putting up videos. And then I found many of you probably heard of him, uh, Enrique, Life Beyond the Seas. This is back before he became really big. So I started following those two, and then you know how YouTube works. They started suggesting other vloggers, and I would add a Thailand vlogger and then a YouTube Philippine vlogger, or vice versa. Whichever one I started following first, I'd do second, then I'd do the other one first, back and forth. But I kept the numbers even. And I would go back and watch, back then I had the time. I'd go back and watch every video they put up. And I was trying to do, that's when the idea of retiring overseas really fermented in my mind. So that's why I started checking out both. And it's like, well, you know, they got pretty good infrastructure, but they're driving the wrong side of the road. Talking about Thailand. Philippines, well, you know, they got a better visa system. People speak English. A lot of, you know, you can travel around without having to learn a second language. They drive on the right side of the road. I knew a lot of Filipinos when I was in the Navy. They were all good people. So you can probably tell by the way I'm talking, I was leaning towards the Philippines. And I finally decided, you know, that they seem to be changing their visa rules a lot in Thailand. I just decided, nah, I don't care. I'm not moving to Thailand. Philippines is for me. And so I slowly started cutting out and dropping a lot of the Thailand vloggers. I kept Thailand Rob around for a long time because I enjoyed his videos. I finally dropped him. But I'd already made the decision I wasn't going there before I ever dropped him. And then I just started following strictly Filipino vloggers. Sometimes they might be in Vietnam, but I'd watch those as well. Enrique went to Vietnam for a while. I still followed him at that time. But I've never followed a traditional Vietnamese vlogger because I really don't have an interest to move there. Maybe go see it, but not move. So then I started having to decide where I wanted to go. I found a vlogger called Chris in Cebu. Now, some of you may know who Chris in Cebu is. Some of you may not. Chris in Cebu lived in the capital district of Cebu City. And when I started following him, I was still far enough, I hadn't been following so many people that I went back and watched all his videos. Just about the time I caught up to his videos, he started doing live streams. And I caught his very first live stream. I liked his show. So I thought, well, we'll give it a try. I'm not sure how much I'm going to like live stream walking, you know, because I never watched one before. And he'd walk around the capital district, and he was real good at this. As he's walking, he can read your comments, and he'd respond to your questions and stuff like that, or ask you a question about a comment you made. And I enjoyed it. And that's when I started my channel. Chris in Cebu is the one that got me to start my channel. This is probably the same thing for Jahar. You cannot comment in a live stream, at least, without a channel. You have to have a channel. So I started a channel and I went by Larry Lee, which is my name. Well, with Chris in Cebu, there was myself, Larry Lee, Larry G, and Larry B. Now, B was just his initial. I think G was his last name, Gee, if I remember right. And there was another Larry or so, but there were three of us, Lee, G, and B, very similar. So I decided I'd change my channel name again. And I went to Lazy Larry and dropped the Lee. That way it was still LL. And so that way, if I asked a question, I would know if he was answering my question because he would use the name Lazy or Lazy Larry instead of Larry Lee, or because he had to use more than one name when we were all Larrys first. Larry B, Larry G, Larry Lee. And sometimes it's hard to hear the difference between those three names. That's why I went to Lazy Larry. And I stayed Lazy Larry for quite some time. I hadn't even made any videos at all at this time. And so I had some people asking me how come I was going by Lazy Larry, because I'd always just got off work, just worked a 12. Sorry, I was late because I worked a 12-hour shift. And so they were saying, well, you're not lazy. How come you go by the name Lazy Larry? And so anyway, I decided to do my very first video was a talking head video. Hello, I'm Lazy Larry. It explained how I got the name Lazy and why I used it. That's my very first video, actual video. So that was about 3 years, maybe a little longer ago. I don't remember, 3 or 4 years ago. And some of the guys said they would try to go find it. They couldn't find it. Because I guess there was some cartoon called Lazy Larry, and there'd be pages of the stuff about this guy, And so I went in and changed my name of my channel again, and then I added my last name, so it became Lazy Larry Lee. I did another video on why I changed it to Lazy Larry Lee, explaining that. But I started doing videos because I knew once I retired, I wanted a reason to get up off the couch and go do something. So that's what I did. And I've been doing videos since, and I've been following mostly, like I said, almost exclusively Filipino art channels, mainly about the Philippines. There are some people that are in other places, like Jerry. He's in Texas. But he does come to the Philippines and put up videos on the Philippines. I met Jerry through the YouTube. That's how I started following him. Mike, married to a beautiful woman. He's in Canada quite a bit. Some of his videos are in Canada, a lot of them actually. He doesn't put up a lot of videos. Danny rode to the Philippines, was back and forth. Now he's retired and living and he just moved to the Philippines here recently himself, permanently. Like I said, he's getting his SRRV, military SRRV. Jamie, off the cuff adventures with Jamie, he's not in today, but he is another vlogger I follow. He's Canadian. He does a lot of videos in Canada as well as the Philippines. He's back and forth. He still works, but he spends almost half his time here and half his time in Canada. So he's semi-retired, I guess. And he's one of the few that are that doesn't reverse order of what most people that split their time between the two countries, where they're from and here. He's the reverse order of most of them. He goes home during the winter and here during the summer. But Jamie, if you ever follow Jamie's channels when he's in Canada, which is where he's from. You'll see that he loves the outdoor winter activities, snowmobiling, ice fishing, uh, that kind of stuff. He loves that stuff. And then he works. He's not there just playing. He goes back to work. He works on those big giant diesel motors. And I mean giant ones. This not for trucks. This is the big giant ones that runs power plants and stuff like that. And but yeah, so it's different. There's a couple that I check in on once in a while. They do songs on the show places in Florida. Not as much now that I'm here. Hey, folks, it's going on 2 hours, and CR is starting to call me. So I want to thank everybody that came, for all those of you still in the chat. So yeah, I'm getting ready to. All right, folks, I got a phone call coming, so I'm gonna have to go. Thanks for coming, and give me a moment, please. Hold on. All right, I'm gonna end my channel live stream. I got a phone call. Bye, everybody. Take care. Yeah, I'm here. Just give me a minute.